My name is Jody Parker, and I am one of the members of the Million Mom Movement Council. And I want to welcome you to our final Million Mom Movement family gathering. We started this during the quarantine because we were all stuck in our houses and we were all feeling lonely and separated, and so were our kids. And we thought that we could create this community here for everyone to support each other and to support moms and kids. So we've been doing this since, I guess it was March that we started doing this. And now that things are opening back up and it's summer, people don't need this outlet quite as much. So for now, this is going to be our last one. And if we see that there's a need for this, then we'll revisit that. But welcome to those of you who are here today. If you want to hop on video, that'd be great. You don't have to, though. The other two people you see up on video, Tass and Rachel, they're both with the council as well. And we don't have a big agenda today. We just want to kind of wrap up everything we've been doing over the last couple months and give people a time to chime in, ask questions, tell stories, etc. But I want to make sure I hit all of the relevant points. So I'm going to hop into those and then we'll open it up for discussion. So let's see. Million Mom Movement. Most of you probably know what that is already, but in case you don't, the Million Mom Movement was started by Amy Venner, who's co-founder of Purium, when she realized that especially moms, but mom can stand for the movement of many, needed support in caring for their families, and moms tend to be the ones who make the decisions about food, and she felt like we needed to help moms learn how to eat healthier. And then that expanded into finding 1,000 moms in 100 cities to teach 10 families not only how to eat healthier, but how to live healthier. So we've expanded it from just nutrition to lifestyle. And then we realized that an aspect of that lifestyle has to be financial and economically empowering said moms who are giving their time and giving their effort and giving their knowledge to help their community and the people around them really up level and feel empowered around their health and know how to help themselves and their family, and that time and energy deserves to be honored through economic empowerment. And that morphed into the Million Mom Movement really are the Purium brand partners who are out there every day teaching these principles, but not only teaching them, but walking their talk. So that is how we all ended up here today. And I've been a part of this movement before we even had a council, and that's been, I don't even know if it's 2 or 3 years now. I've been doing this since 2016 and working with Amy, and it's super rewarding. And there's some really important things that I want to share with you guys. If you don't know about it, the Million Mom Movement every month gives away 4 scholarships. And those scholarships include $400 a month, roughly, of Purium products for 6 months, as well as the business itself and all the business training. And these are for moms who really want to be on this mission with us and want to share and spread this knowledge and be able to feed their family healthy, but don't have the economic means to make that happen. And so we've actually been all day today interviewing last month's candidates so that we could narrow it down to pick our 4 winners for May. So we take the scholarship applications all month long, and you can find that at www.millionmommovement.info under scholarships, and you can apply for the scholarship. And then as a council, we look at all of those scholarship applications, and then we do interviews, and then Amy Venner makes the final decision as to who is going to win those scholarships. So it's an amazing program. We've given over, what is it, Rachel, over $40,000 at this point in scholarships in the last, it's been a year officially, but we started giving scholarships, I believe it was for last April, but they all came out in July at last year's convention. And so we've been doing this for a year and empowering moms. And so if you know somebody in your community who can benefit from that, please send them our way and send that website their way so they can be a part of that. 130,000, really that much? oh my goodness. So 40,000 is way off, guys. That's amazing, all the people that we've helped. And this company has such a heart for that. It really is the movement of many, as I said earlier. And then the other thing that let's see, what did we want to mention? Okay, two more things. Fierce Fridays. So every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have what's called Fierce Fridays, which has become the activism call for the Million Mom movement, as well as for Purium as a whole. And living this lifestyle, we are trying to change the world. I mean, let me fix that phrase. We're not trying to change the world. We are changing the world. We are the change we wish to see in the world. And we need to give people a voice, and we need to give them action steps. So Fierce Friday has become that call. And it started out when our council chair, Stephanie Dawn, feels very passionate about the fact that Cheerios has very high parts per million of the toxic herbicide glyphosate in them, and it's the first food that toddlers get, and it's making children sick. I just, not a half an hour ago, posted on my Facebook wall about a new study that came out that children exposed to glyphosate in the womb show autism-like behaviors, which is deeply concerning because they are finding glyphosate in the umbilical cords of nearly everybody that they test. And Purium has solutions for that, but we've also started a letter writing campaign to General Mills to tell them, get the glyphosate out of the food, especially the Cheerios that are going to our toddlers. And we're expanding that to the hot topics. So last week, I was talking about the vaccination debate and why there's a debate and what's around that and the science and the legislation that's going on. And we're going to continue that discussion this Friday. But as hot topics like that continue to come up, we're going to tackle them, which is a little bit scary. But in order to change the world, we have to be able to have these discussions. We have to be able to look at all the different sides so that we as mamas and as families can make the best choices for our children. She's nodding. This is my daughter, my 7-year-old daughter, Leora, who's been in on this movement since day one. She's one of the kids you'll see the pictures of with the chlorella tongue. And then finally, recipes. Guys, we need recipes. So many of us take our Purium foods, and for those of you, I don't know, can I get a 1 if you are already currently a Purium brand partner in the chat, and a 2 if you are not involved and are curious? I want to know who I'm talking to. So if you don't, oh, there we go. We've got some ones. It looks like, is there anybody who is not a Purium brand partner on the call? New and super curious, even better. We have recipes. So if you go to the millionmommovement.info website, we do have a recipe tag, and we're always looking for more recipes. And being the mom that I am, me and Tass both, we like to put Purium in everything. We just mix it into everything. Pretty much a day doesn't go by that we're not finding some new way to mix Purium into our food, right? And you love to play mixology, don't you? Mix things up and see what you can come up with. And so we're always looking for that because we want to get that nutrition into our families, and these powders make it so easy because you can throw a scoop of, carrot juice plus or original power shake or, cocoa mint spirulina or on and on and on, any of the juice bar in a bag products, mix them all together and increase the nutrition value of your foods. I put it in spaghetti sauce and smoothies and snacks and popsicles. And can you think of anything else we throw it in? Sorbet. We make sorbet a lot. And so if anybody has any recipe things that they've tried that they do in their home, I would love for you to hop on and share that with us. But even better, if you do have that and you can take a picture of it and send it to us at the Million Mom Movement website, we can get your recipe up on our website, and you'll get, is it a free apothecary with that, Rachel? Is that what people get? Yes, so you'll get a free apothecary if you do that. So obviously we want to incentivize you to do that, because the more creative we get, the healthier our children and our families get, and we're big fans of that. So I think I have hit every major point that has been happening. I think I got them all. And so I want to invite you guys. How are you? I mean, I'll tell you what, this has been a rough day. I'm going through Facebook and it's contentious and scary, and people are having trouble talking to each other because they're on such different sides of the spectrum, that creating a bridge is getting more and more difficult. But I really think that it is in creating those bridges and creating those conversations that we become this change that we wish to see in the world. But I'll admit it's getting to me. I'm feeling anxious and a little unsure, and the mask discussion is freaking me out. I don't like it from either direction. And so I have a friend who's a biochemist, and she has a pulse oximeter. And so we're going to actually test. We're going to put it on and we're going to test, do masks actually decrease oxygen? Because I don't actually know. The science is not clear from either direction. But they're talking about keeping kids in masks all day long at school. And I know people are getting headaches. So we're like, well, let's just test it. Let's see. Is it psychosomatic? Is it real? So that's what's happening in my world and what I'm looking at. I would love to hear from somebody else who wants to hop on, talk about what you're seeing, about how you think you can help be the bridge for our families. Because let's be real, it's these guys that this is really going to affect. This is the world that they're seeing. This is the world that is being changed and thrown on its head for them. And it's our jobs as the mama bears to protect that and help create that path forward so that it's not so controversial and so difficult, because you guys are the ones that suffer, huh? You're not suffering, are you? To be 7 again. So who wants to hop on iPhone? I don't know who you are that just commented. I'm feeling the same. Go to the point I'm going to go mental or try to be an activist, and I'm choosing the MMM because it's my platform and I had no idea existed when I joined Purium last month. Who are you? I see iPhone, but I don't know who you are. Can you unmute yourself and hop on?
Hi, my name's Ashley. I just started with Premium. I hope I'm not too late to jump on the Zoom, but I just got started with it, and I'm like on day 3 of trying the products, and I love them. It's so amazing. Hi. Hang on, I'm gonna turn the video on also right now. I hope I'm not.
Excellent.
Hi.
So tell me how you wanna how you feel. You were saying that you're loving the idea behind the MMM. Talk about that and how you think it can help, because as a council, we want to hear that because we want to help create that. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, Ash. There she goes.
Oh, okay. All right. So what was it that you're asking me? Sorry, look, honey, say hello.
Tell us how we can help you help spread the word about MMM and what kind of support you're looking for and what you're thinking in the world about being an activist.
I just, I just kind of joined a couple days ago, so I'm still, learning about everything. Hang on, and I just, the support, is really like out. I wanted just to be out there, and I see that it is, and that it's a really cool community to be a part of.
Everybody wave. Say hi.
Hi, mommy.
That is your mommy.
Hi. Yeah, so I feel like if I can just share it with, whoever I can, and, get my kids on board. My son, he tried it and he loves it. And, we, talk about health and try to make, try to make, healthy, conscious choices. But, sometimes it's not that easy. So just finding the balance and all that, But yeah, so we're just here to learn and, take notes and, share whatever we can.
Hi. Excellent. We're so happy to have you here, and we look forward to you jumping on with us some more. Looks like Toss, you ready to is it Tass or Toss? I never remember. It's French, and I never remember how to pronounce it correctly. So you tell us.
It's Taz.
Okay.
It's Portuguese. It's supposed to be Thais because I'm Brazilian Venezuelan, but I'm from Montreal. So yes, it's a unique name, I would say. So like I've been living on this health food movement for quite some time, for 11 years with myself, because I had a lot of medical issues myself, and I was always reluctant to share this message until it happened again with my son. You know, it's like God told me, okay, I gave this to you and you did nothing with it. You shared no message. You kept it all to yourself. And then it happened to my son. He's now 6. When he was 6 months old, he had rashes all over his body. And like we were living the ultimate, in my opinion, healthiest lifestyle. No sugar, no processed food, whole foods. How much more could I have done? Ashley, can you mute yourself, please? And I was doing the best I thought I could until he had eczema all over his body. He started demonstrating Crohn's, which I recognized in myself, which I had. But as a 16-month-old, seeing that all over again was the worst thing ever. I am back at hospitals every once a week at least, having blood tests, genetic testing, every specialist, right? Because I'm desperate now. And you know what? All of a sudden, I'm like, maybe what I know, maybe it's wrong. Maybe I don't know anything. You start questioning yourself. Maybe I don't know anything. And I find the medical system, they pry on that. They're like, yes, desperate mothers. And that's exactly what I was. And I'm like, I'm here, talking about natural life, drug-free. They recommend cortisone. I am desperate. What do? I slat that all over him. I'm desperate. All I want is for him to feel better, right? I'm questioning all my beliefs, all my research out the window. I'm like, I must know nothing if this is happening to me and my son. And then when I found out about glyphosate, and honestly, the first time I heard about glyphosate, I didn't think it was real. I'm like, what is this? Now what? Now what? Right. I didn't think it was something real until I looked at the ingredients of Biomedic, and I'm like, okay, it's all food. It's all food. I've been giving him cortisone, which I'm very against. Why not? Why not? 3 days. 3 days, guys. Everything went away. He used to go to the bathroom 8 times a day. 8 times. And the doctors told me that's normal. That's normal. What? And thank goodness I have an 11-year-old as well. So I knew to compare. And no, this is not normal. Because if I was a new mom, I probably would have been like, oh, okay, it's normal. Because I don't know better. But because I've had experience, I'm like, this is not normal. Why are you saying that? So this really solidified my belief in organic foods and the toxins we have in our foods, and spreading the message to all moms. And the more deep I dove into my research, I'm like, glyphosate is everywhere. I mean, everything. So now I'm like, I need to go all the way, spreading this message to every parent. Look, I'm gonna get to children, I'm gonna get to parents, doesn't matter which way, I have to get to it. Because the more we empower ourselves and our families, this is the future, and we have to. And there's too much toxins in everything, from dyes to cereals to, I tell my kids, whenever they see a commercial, don't buy it. You would never see a Purium commercial. One day, that's a dream, right? But if they see there's a commercial, they know, okay, that's toxic. That's toxic. And whenever they go to the grocery store and they are like, oh,
oh, that's junk, junk, junk. And other parents see them, they're like, what? How do you do that? You educate your kids. I think this is what we're all a part of. We're here to empower our kids, to educate our kids what's in the food, what they're putting into their mouth, and to respect your body, right? So thank you, everyone. We'll pass it back to you, Jody.
Audrey, you hopping on? It looks like you were about to. Oh, she froze. Well, thank you for that. Audrey, are you hopping on? Did you want to? You look like it. You don't want me to put you on the hot seat? Come on, get on the hot seat.
I'm awkward enough as it is, and Eleanor is asleep. She finally passed out on the bed.
Oh.
So I think I'm good, but I'm listening.
She's on my team if you didn't figure that out. So I'm allowed to pick on her. Does anybody else want to hop? Oh, I just saw, okay, your name's not on there, but you've got the cool tie-dye behind you and you just came on video. Did you want to talk?
Okay, so I'm Brett. I'm the one that made that comment about feel like I'm going mentally insane with all this that's going on in the world. That I joined last month, and I wanted to use this as my platform to spread, awareness about glyphosate. And you asked how you guys could help me do that, and mainly, I guess, just helping me figure out where I can get like the best information and to spread the best, knowledge.
There's so many different ways you can go with that. So let me list a few things. So every Wednesday night, David Sandoval and Amy Venner have a lifestyle call where they talk about the products and they give you all that information. And since you're new, you've never been around when you give Dave a topic and he just goes, and the knowledge that like comes flying out of his head it's a little awe-inspiring. And so that's going to be one place that is going to really help you learn and pick up how to talk about these products, what they do, how they help. And then, getting on any of the calls, glyphosate specific, as an MMM council, we focus on that a lot, especially in the Fierce Fridays. Then there's also the Toxin That Came to Dinner, which is the book that comes with the Biomedic when you buy a 4-pack, or you can also download it when you get just the individual. And that, it's not a very long book, but it's just packed full of information. And that's a really great resource for you to use about how to talk about glyphosate. And it's in the news so much right now. The Highwire just did a thing with Zen Honeycutt, who is from Moms Across America, with this new study that showed that children that were exposed to glyphosate in utero are showing autistic-like behaviors once they're born. And that was a new study. I just posted about that. So, following us, following the Million Moms.
So my thing is that my daughter's 12 years old right now. She has been in utero, fully organic, always organic. I had her protesting signs saying no more GMO. I'm not a science project at the age of 5. So it's not myself that I need to educate. It's how to come across to my friends who have been making fun of me for the past 12 years. So I need to have like credible, I just have never been found a great way to be able to put it across in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm just trying to sell them a product.
Uh-oh. No, I'm still here. Do I have everybody?
So.
Oh, there you go.
Did you hear what I was saying?
I didn't. I don't know what happened, but something went weird. Mercury retrograde. Start again.
Okay, so I don't know where I left off, but it's not myself that I need to educate on glyphosate and Monsanto. I've been doing that for 12 years. My daughter is 100% organic, and I'm just happy that I found Purium. But my problem is my Facebook platform, everybody's thinks I'm crazy. And so I need to find a way to educate people. Like I've been a huge Monsanto mind like forever, and people think I'm making it up. And it hasn't been until just this past couple years that the friends that I've had that were like, you're crazy, whatever, I'm going to feed my kids whatever I want to, are now starting to be like, oh, wait, but they're not coming back to me going, oh, you were right, or anything like that. So it's hard for me to come across as wanting to educate, and like, I really want to. I'm not just trying to make money off of these people. And that's how I feel like it comes across. Like, no matter what I do, everybody makes me feel like I'm just trying to sell something. No matter if it's, you know, fingernail polish or greens. They're just like, oh, she's just trying to make money. So I need to have like super duper awesome stuff to back me up. And so I'm so happy that I found the Million Mom Movement. Now I just need to know how to utilize all the tools and the hashtags and whatever it is that we're all doing to get this across in a way that doesn't make me look like I'm just trying to make a buck off of somebody.
So I don't know if you can see the chat, but Audrey wrote testimonials, which is so true, because
right?
They talk about facts tell, but stories sell. And everybody is experiencing a problem, right? Everybody, Rachel Ballenstadt, who's one of the Crowns, has coined an acronym called SWIPED. And that stands for skin and sleep, weight, inflammation, pain, energy, and digestion. And almost everybody you know has an issue with one of those things. And so if you start telling testimonials and telling stories about so-and-so was experiencing this and it was awful, and then they did this and now they feel great, kind of that's the pattern of the storytelling, that is going to resonate with people. Because if you connect them with whatever their problem is and offer them a solution that's not, I'm trying to sell you something, but look, this is amazing, they're going to hear it differently. And obviously it has to come from a place of authenticity, but I hear that authenticity in your voice. I don't think that's the problem. And as far as MMM goes, hashtagging We Are the Million Mom Movement and hashtag Million Mom Movement. And on Instagram, if you share your stories and tag at Million Mom Movement, then Nieva can reshare those in the Million Mom Movement Instagram stories and vice versa. And you can start showing like you aren't alone in this, that there is a swell of mothers who are learning this information and learning from each other and up-leveling their health. And so when you place it like that, people hear it differently. And the other thing you want to be really careful of is not putting it directly into your story, like, if you need more information, let me know, and then having those conversations in private message so that you can have a conversation and really answer what their problem is, versus just like throwing, well, here, go try this at them, and then they feel heard. And you know this, people want to be heard, they want to be seen, and they want to feel better. And if you can fit those things in and bring the movement in by sharing posts, by getting involved in the stories, by tagging us, those kinds of things, by getting people on your Purium team to get on your posts and comment, then that is going to create the groundswell that you need. Does that help?
Yes. And I think that the information that I got today with the websites and all that will help me a lot. So I guess I'll start there.
It's a journey for sure.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else who wants to jump in, who has questions, a story, a testimonial, a recipe, how it's
Can I jump in?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I want to comment a little bit on what she was saying. Okay, I go through this a lot, okay? But this is what I do, okay? I educate my kids, okay? And a lot of my kids I'm very involved in both of my kids' schools. So I like seeing what all the kids eat. Okay. So I always do lunches. I always look around, see what all the kids are eating, and it's all junk, always junk. And I listen, I pay attention. I'm never so much in the parents' face because I know all these parents and a lot of them work for dairy industries and, things that are not part of my values. So I know they're going to be a wall there, right? So I don't approach it this way. I observe, I look, they see how my kids behave and how they're thriving. Okay. So years go on. My daughter's 11 now, and half of her class, okay, more than half of her class are all diagnosed with ADHD. Like, it's incredible. I know. I knew this. They were on schedule, as I like to say, because I've seen them since kindergarten, what they've been eating, how their behavior has been, and I'm like, this is what's going to happen. But until the parents reach out to me, all of the parents are on my Facebook. They see everything. They know. They speak to my kids. My kids speak to their kids. So this is a strategy that I use. You have the kids reach out to the kids. I have my son, both my kids are very vocal in this because, that's the way I think how we're going to change the next generation is our kids. So my son educates his friends. How cool would it be if you would eat this instead of that? How clear would you think if you had this instead of that? Like, my son is very vocal. Too bad he's not here today. He's out playing, but he's really vocal with it. And then I have moms who call me. They're like, my son wants to go vegan and he wants to not have all of these meat because of your son. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You play innocent, but this is the whole point. Once you educate your kids and you empower your kids, then the kids are teaching the other kids. So this is a great strategy because you have a 12-year-old. A 12-year-old is very, very vocal. My daughter is very vocal. She's very environmental. So she's leading this movement with her friends and she's teaching her friends. Look, oh, I've been taking this. Look how easy it is. A power shake, she takes it to school. It's nut free. All she needs is water. So she shows her friends, I have this and look how I look. I'm going through puberty. Look at my skin. My daughter just started her period. She has no issue because she's on Biomedic. I up her Biomedic. She has 2 a day. She's having her spirulina. She's having everything. She has no effect the other kids are having. So this is a great way to empower our kids. We teach them. We show them, this is why you're taking this. It's not just because mommy says. I grew up in that environment. I don't do it. I explain everything to them. If the moms want, okay, yes, read what Jody wrote. Legally, we can. But these are stories, right? And this is my daughter's story. So we can share stories. And I also buy a lot of the Toxin That Came to Dinner, the book, and I give them away. I'm like, here, read this. You don't want to listen to me? That's fine. This book is showing all the research. And this little book is gold. It's an amazing little book. So give it to them. Share it with the parents. It doesn't have to come from you. And when you invite them to these calls, they see you're not alone. How many of us are on this mission? How many of us do we have kids are thriving today? Where would I have been if we never discovered Biomedic? My son would probably always been in the hospital. Where would we be? But now we're all thriving. So we need to spread this message. We need to share our stories because we all have a story, right? So that's my share. Anyone else?
Anybody else want to jump in, tell your story? I'll give it a sec because I know sometimes it takes a minute to unmute. But if not, I can share my story and what this has done for us. Because I have, like I said, an almost, oops, sorry about that. an almost 16-year-old. And sorry. And when he was 5 months old, he nearly went into liver failure. And it was really, really scary. And he had the rashes and he had all the stuff. And the doctor, the pediatrician, was not helpful. And some of the recommendations he made were actually dangerous. And I had to take control and do all the research. And thankfully, my degree was in child development and neurology. So I at least had a starting point, because there was no Facebook and there was no Million Mom movement back then. And he's fine now. But of my 3 kids, all 3 of them are ridiculously sensitive to anything synthetic and anything man-made. And I remember asking their doctor at one point, are they as sensitive as I think they are? Or am I like that crazy mom who is making myself nuts and almost like a hypochondriac? Because I don't want to make it worse, but I don't want to give them something. Finding that balance. And the doctor looked at me, he's like, oh no, they really are that sensitive. And so this had to become a lifestyle. Living pure and toxin-free became a lifestyle for us. And we're extremely healthy now, as long as we live this lifestyle. And so we are a walking billboard for how your lifestyle choices affects your health. And that is why I am constantly on this mission to help people, because I was the mom who didn't have any help. I didn't have a support system. My whole family thought I was crazy. I didn't trust my doctors. My husband would pat me on the back and say, okay, we'll do it this way. But, he was like, not sure. He's a convert. The kids know, what to ask for when we go to restaurants. They're educated. And I don't ever want another mother to feel like I did. And that fear when you don't know how to help your baby. There's nothing worse. It's the worst feeling in the world. And at the Million Mom movement, that's our goal, is to empower moms so that they don't feel scared. So many people right now with the COVID thing are so scared. And I think part of that is because we've lost the ability to understand how to take care of our kids when they do get sick. Fevers are good. And that's the body's reaction, but everybody wants to suppress the fever, and nobody understands the role of nutrition and how it supports the body and the biological functions. And if we empower people with that knowledge, then that knowledge takes away the fear. And I think more than anything in this world right now, that the fear that is controlling us is dangerous. And so anything that I can do and that we can collectively do to help dispel fear and create empowerment instead is going to be the bridge that creates the journey to our future. So that's where I'm coming from. Is there anybody else who wants to hop in, who has something to say, or questions or story or anything like that? Oh, she started to come off and then didn't. I don't know that we need, because there's so few of us on the call today, I don't know that we need to stay on the call unless somebody feels like they need some more support or some more help. Then we're happy to do so. But if not, I think we can wrap up. Rachel, do you have anything that you feel like we need to add?
So Fridays, at what time is Fierce Friday?
It's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
I don't know what that is Hawaii time. Naiva, is she still on? Looks like she had to get off. I think
That's
Hawaii.
fine.
Okay.
And will that be the same link? Or is it going to be like one of those text messages that I get that's going to be Fierce Friday and I'll know where the link is, or how can I find that link to that meeting?
You will, corporate will send out a link. It will also be, I believe it's on the calendar that they put out every month.
Okay.
Rodney's saying same link as this one. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, and if you go to the Million Mom Movement Facebook page, under events, Naiva always posts it there too. So there'll be a couple different options of how you can find it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else? I think we're good. You guys have any last things you want to say? Jump in. I can't see you because my screen is frozen. So if you're nodding at me, I don't know.
I guess I could jump in with a little bit. I'm really new to this, but having an amazing experience personally, but still having trouble actually like creating the business aspect of it. And then also I was really inspired and really wanting to know more about like the vaccination thing, because I live in California and I have not had my daughter vaccinated, and she's coming up on school age, and I'm having like a lot of challenges in terms of like finding childcare or getting her into some sort of program. I'm also a single mom, so I'm doing all this on my own. So I mean, maybe I know that was kind of a lot thrown all at you, but maybe just some support regarding like, you know, how to. I mean, I am tapping into some of the resources in terms of building my business, but I just feel kind of like I have so much going on, and I want to be able to do more and manifest more and be able to like, you know, have more of a result than I have been having. And then also like, I would love to connect with more families who are also like not wanting to poison their children. So I don't feel like I'm kind of doing this all on my own, so to speak. Even though this community has been totally amazing, and I've only been here for 2 weeks or so, and it's already just so beneficial. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, excellent. No, that wasn't too much. I followed everything you said. So a couple things. So for the business aspect, the more people you talk to, the more popular it will get and consistent. So those are going to be the best, you know, general advice to give. And then yes, connect with your upline about strategies around that to help you build that. As far as being in California goes, I know on this Friday's call, a Purium brand partner, Stephanie Fetzer, who happens to be in my first line, is going to be talking about her girl's vaccine injury and everything that's happening. And she is boots on the ground, one of the big leaders in California. She's completely interconnected with everybody and knows all of that. So she would be able to connect you with other groups depending on where you are in California. It's a gigantic state. But I know a lot of them too. People out there, and so they are creating communities and they are finding ways to support each other in that. So getting involved in those local groups. Her group is Parents United for Kids, and then the Freedom Angels are out in California as well. So connecting with them, they can help you connect to the community actually out there and find ways forward for you and your daughter. As far as that goes, if you decide that you need to vaccinate her, then there are ways that you can use Purium products to prep her and then detox her. And there are other ways that you can do that as well. There are lots of options, and you have to realize that I am speaking for corporate. So I'm going to be really, really wide in all of your options because that's my job. But yes, we can definitely connect you with people who can help you with that. And she will be on the call this Friday. So that would be a way you could meet her. Does that help?
Awesome. Yes. Thank you. I didn't write down those two resources that you mentioned. And yes, I think also having some protocols as to support her if I did choose to go through with that, that would be amazing as well.
Yes, there's so many different options. So Freedom Angels is somebody you can follow, and Parents United for Kids. They're both in California. And then the National Vaccine Injury Center, NVIC, follows all of the legislation so that you know what's going on in your state. So those are groups that you can connect with out in California. And then as far as detox, it's going to be an individual thing, and it's going to depend on child. And, you know, medicine is not one size fits all, and neither is detox. But just knowing that there are options like fulvic zeolite and biomedic and ionic minerals and the sea from nature and chlorella or green spectrum, the beets, the carrot juice, the aloe digest, all of those things are going to be super helpful in supporting the body to heal should you go that direction.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was super helpful. And I did get those resources written down. So thank you.
There's a blog post on the MMM website on using Purium products to detox your kids and yourself. And you can go find that on the blog, and all of those things are written there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else want to jump in? You want to jump in?
What?
I don't know. Just stopping by to say hi. Well, I'm good. I think we've connected everything. So if you guys want to join us for Fish Friday, we would love to have you. And it is open not just to Purium brand partners, but to anybody who is interested in those hot topics or wants to learn more. So feel free to invite anybody and everybody who you think can benefit from it. And you can share the invite from the Million Mom Movement page on Facebook. There's a business page, and there's also a group. The business page has it under events, so you can invite people directly to the event from there. And did I get it all, Rachel? Am I missing anything? I don't know if she's frozen.
Oh, nope, we're good. We're good. Thank
Okay.
you, Josie.
Yes, thank you guys all for jumping in. I'll give you one more shout out. Anybody else want to jump in? Have anything that they want to talk about? My daughter's singing in the background. All right, I think we're good. So I think that's a wrap. Thank you all for joining us. And again, www.millionmommovement.info. Find us at Million Mom Movement on Facebook and at Million Mom Movement on Instagram. If you have stories that you think other mothers could benefit from, please tag at Million Mom Movement in your Instagram stories so that we can reshare that. And invite everybody you know to Fierce Fridays. And thank you for joining us today. And we appreciate you all. And we will see you hopefully on Friday.